The Rani of Jhansi of Carnatic music, boldly entering areas that even angels would fear to tread. That would sum up M.L. Vasanthakumari. Today, let's trace the rise of the prodigy. Press the bell icon on YouTube and never miss another update. M.L. Vasanthakumari 1928 to 1990 redefined the way Carnatic music was presented. MS, DKP and MLV, they formed a triumvirate. But MLV's penchant for innovation made her a class apart. A disciple of legend G.N. Balasubramaniam, she followed his quicksilver style of rendition but brought it to her own charm and individually creating her own new Bani. Madras Lalitangi Vasanthakumari was a prodigy, giving a public performance when she was all of 13. Trained by her mother, Lalitangi, an accomplished vocalist, Vasanti accompanied her mother in concerts from the age of 11. Her father, Kuthanur Iyer, was a musician too. MLV stepped into present a concert in Bangalore when her mother had to withdraw on health grounds. There was no looking back as MLV grew in stature, her vidwad gaining a kind of depth that left the lay and the connoisseur mesmerized. Her RTPs in particular were something special. Her adventurous spirit made her launch into delicious of rare ragas, her imagination soaring high, leaving the accompanists searching for answers. Audience flocked to listen to her Devarnamas and Dasar Kritis. She was heard in every home during Margazhi through Thiruppavai, which she sang set to tune by Arkadu Ramanuja Iyengar. Stalwarts including Ustads bowed to her genius. All who knew her underlined the impromptu way in which she stirred her concerts. Sought after across the country and abroad, MLV stood out with her brilliance, which spilled over to films, where she ruled the roost for several decades. MLV's personal life, however, was not as tuneful, but she moved on, not letting any of it reflect in her public performances. The trademark smiles never leaving her face. Warm and generous, she showered friends with gifts. She was married to Vikattam Krishnamurti, and the couple had 2 children, Shankar and Srividya. Latter, trained in music and dance, was a renowned film actor. Sabas feated MLV, who at 49 was the youngest woman to be conferred Sangeeta Kalanidhi by the Music Academy Madras. The Central Sangeet Natak Akademi honored her. Mysore University conferred a doctorate on her, and as an icing on the cake came Padma Bhushan. MLV passed away on October 31st, 1990, her legacy safe in the hands of scores of disciples, some of whom have reached great heights such as Sudha Raghunath, Charamurti Ramachandran, and A. Kanyakumari. MLV's school education was in Madras in a convent where all was set to pursue a medical career until the great Carnatic musician G.N. Balasubramaniam came into her life. He became her hero. In her own words, my parents had rendered yeoman service to Carnatic music. They were mainly instrumental in popularizing the compositions of Purandaradasa in South India. They were not keen that I should enter the music field and gave me general education, but in the musical atmosphere of my house, I had ample opportunity of practicing vocal music. Her mother, Lalitangi, was also a great musician. When Deshbandhu Chittaranjan Das died in 1925, Lalitangi came out with a beautiful song by way to tribute to his national spirit and patriotism. A rare gramophone record made in England of her glorious voice rendering the song is said to be in V. Sundaram's private possession. That was one of the rarest recordings of her mother, Madras Lalitangi. Born on July 3, 1928, MLV was naturally inclined to singing and learnt many Dasar Kritis from her mother, Lalitangi, who was her first teacher. No stage ever unnerved her, and at no stage did she lose her musical perspective. Kuthanur Saraswati, who blessed MLV with such an extraordinary talent, in-depth knowledge, and that simple, unique voice. MLV must have thought so, for she never failed to visit the temple in Tanjore district. Was it her native deity Kuthanur Saraswati's blessings, her mother's teachings? She cut out a disc at age of 12. For concerts, MLV's long hair would be pleated and a bunch of jasmine would be pinned on. Her dark, kohl-lined eyes and smile captivating. She wore pure silk sarees in pleasing colors, sometimes with thin gold stripes and thick borders. She made a style statement with her gold tissue and brocade blouses, which became a trendsetter in itself, apart from imbibing some great music for how one can grasp and retain an ocean of genius. Her voice had power and range and was unflagging in energy, but with melody as its main component. The vast repertoire, impeccable pronunciation, judicious key selection, adapting new approaches for different audience, and a pleasant stage performance without any quirky actions added to the MLV charisma. Apart from learning fresh and rare kirtis, dasar padas, tilanas, Tamil compositions, padams, javalis, bhajans, and abangas, she did not do any practice at home. She used to always look at authenticity in her style and would even learn from a novice if she felt the song had some charm. Then she would polish it with a few additions and subtractions and would be concert ready. The way she used the mic showed her intelligence and her vast experience in film recording. Where she was a mega star, the voice was projected just right, and Rasikas go down in wonder at her breathtaking bregas and subtle gamakas and her authentic raga bhavam. Semmangudi Srinivasa Iyer once said, I heard Vasanthi when she was a teenager at Trivandrum. She came there with her mother, Lalitangi. I was awestruck. I just wanted to cancel everything and think about her extraordinary talent. MS Amma loved her music and used to attend her concerts. MLV once said, as a young girl, I had to care for my mother always as she was asthmatic. I had to study and sing a tall order. Till their demise, my parents never praised or accepted my music. Strange but true of many artistes who led sad private lives. But what was even more a wonder was to watch her juggle career and life as a wife and mother with grit and patience. After her concert, she would get into a taxi, mentally switch off from the concert mode, and get into home mode. Is Srividya back from her dance class under Dandapani Pillai? Did she take boiled eggs, sanatogen, and food with her to the shooting location? Has Taylor Arumugam stitched her dance dress? Did Shankar, her son, attend to his bank studies, and did her husband, Vikatam Krishnamurthy, have his dinner? She and Murthy did not believe in demanding money from her organizers. Generous to a fault, she loved to give gifts to friends. Once she even donated her gold chain to someone in need. She never shouted in anger, patience being her natural virtue. Vintage MLV reigns supreme, her voice everlasting and appeal evergreen. Press the bell icon, press it now, and we would love to know your feedback in the comment section below. Till then, love.